It's funny. So, okay, so long short story. So you're from Ukraine.
Yes.
Originally.
Yes.
And like, what is Ukraine like? Okay? This is what I picture Ukraine is like. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like a Game of Thrones type situation where there's like some horses and some guys with some big beards.
Wall.
Yeah, and these drinks that are like huge, big drinks of beer, you know? And you like go in, and when you open the door at the bar, it's like, and the guy's like, close the door, Yuri! You know, and you come and sit down, and there's like some kind of animal carcass on the table, and there's always like these big swords. Like, that's what, and some guy's wearing like a beaver on his head. Yeah. That's what I see when I think of Ukraine. Is that what it's like?
I think what you just described, it might be maybe Russia, like Siberia, like maybe
yeah, it's more
300
like that.
years ago, I would say.
But Ukraine is...
Germany maybe, with all the beer stuff. I haven't been to Germany.
But is Ukraine even modern? Like, you guys got
modern,
you have a dance club, you have a nightclub?
Yeah, everything, yeah.
You have, you got Target?
Target, not because...
Walmart?
Well, no, because those are like, we have other supermarkets.
You have
they're called differently, but they have pretty much the same stuff.
You have one like Walmart where like the...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you
like
have chain. You have chain
Ukrainian.
of different like supermarkets.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have like a Beverly Hills type area there?
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, like the most rich, like only the...
You know, actually, Ukraine, and not only Ukraine, but other European countries also, they don't have that diversity, you know, when, for example, there is area where only rich people live, and here area where only like poor live, and this is like can be just half a mile and you get into different world. So you can't really find it like that big of a contrast in Europe and Ukraine. Yes, so it's hard for people from Ukraine to explain that, oh, here's a bad area, that is a good area. They don't get it. I mean,
yeah, because we have a problem like that here for sure. So are you saying that people are more like unified there? Like it's not so different between like the super rich people and the super poor people in where are you from, in Ukraine?
Oh, there is a difference. There is always a difference, but usually it's more like kind of mixed together, and there are not that many like super rich people, or you know, just the way the cities were built, because it was mostly in USSR. So, and you know, things changed over years because like whoever became rich, it happened within last like 30 years, maybe or 20 years, you know, so not that far, not that long ago. So, and people, most of them stayed to live where they used to, like around, so that's why it's more like kind of, you know,
yeah, a little bit spread out.
Yeah, spread out.
Now, you have the most beautiful look. I mean, you're probably one of the most beautiful women in the world. Like, you have a really, really great, I mean, captivating look. Are there a lot of people running around Ukraine that look like you? Like, when I think of Ukraine, I also think of a lot of models for guys and girls. I just think everybody's beautiful there.
Well, that's what I heard, but you know, I see myself in the mirror every day, so for me, for myself, I'm not like something super
But
exceptional.
you look great.
Well,
I know you have a great look.
Yes, I do know that. Ukraine has a lot of beautiful girls for sure, but there are also not like beautiful ones, and I've met so many beautiful girls here in US, and I think, I don't know if there are really much more beautiful women there in Ukraine. They take care of themselves, that's for sure, because this is more in the culture that girls like to dress up, they like to do makeup, just, you know, be more feminine in this way. Maybe that's why.
Now let me ask you something. How serious are looks to you? Like, you know that you can get into a bar without paying because you have a certain look. You know that if you walk down certain streets, you're going to get a lot of people's heads going to turn like, right? But to you personally, how important is your look to you?
Well, I would lie if I would say that I don't care. I do care, and I usually try to look my best, and I like to look good. I like to look at beautiful people, beautiful women. I'm a very visual person. I like beautiful art and so on. So I try, you know, I like beautiful clothes and something stylish, and make sure that I look good. But sometimes if I have too many like photo shoots, like, and like always sexy, beautiful, always hair, just, you know, next day I can be like all just loose t-shirt, no makeup, ponytail, and I'm like just resting that day.
And what kind of food do you eat? Like, do you eat like junk food? Do you eat burgers, pizza?
I love food, and honestly I love fries, but I almost never eat that, but sometimes I do. I mean, on everyday basis I watch myself, I watch what I eat. I'm trying to go for healthy food and do not like intake too many calories and stuff, but I mean, I love everything.
You might be able to take a couple of calories. I mean, even on this camera, which add 10 pounds, you're still very slim on this camera. So, like, I think a few calories wouldn't kill you. But are you a vegetarian? Like, do you have like a strict diet?
No, I mean, I eat everything in moderation. So I try to, you know, stay away from too much sugar, because I like sugar. If I drink coffee, it's always sweet coffee, and I hate sweetener, this 0 calorie one. I just, you know, I don't like how it tastes. So I use use real sugar. So and I could be vegetarian if I want, because I'm not that big on meat, but I'm not. I can have some ham slices on a toast, and, you know, just like everything.
You know, I want to bring up something that's kind of serious. It just popped in my head because today happens to be the day. I'm not sure if you're aware or anyone watching, but today's the day that the Electoral College is trying to decide whether or not we keep, you know, Elvis as the king of rock and roll.
Okay.
So, so it made me think, like, there's a lot of talk in the news right now about the soon-to-be American president hanging out with Vladimir Putin. And at first, and I want to say this, at first I got a red flag like everybody. Like, I saw this picture of Donald Trump hanging out with Vladimir Putin, and the first thing I thought was, oh my God, here we go. Oh, this is terrible. This is bad. And then, as I was talking to you right now, I was sitting here and I was thinking, you know, what is my problem with Vladimir Putin? I don't know Vladimir Putin. I don't have a problem with anybody from Russia or from Ukraine. And when I think about it, I've never met any Ukrainian person who was like, I hate Americans. I don't want nothing to do with no Americans. Keep them Americans away from me. So I think it's kind of been like propaganda, you know, like, do you know, I mean, you're from Ukraine. Do Ukrainian people just hate Americans?
No, Ukrainian people do not hate Americans.
They don't care about Americans, right? So And anyway, so I'm kind of thinking this in my head as I'm talking to you, but I was thinking it's kind of old-fashioned to think that two big political guys couldn't be buddies. Like, why couldn't they be buddies? So what? He runs Russia and we run the United States. What's wrong with that? There's athletic teams that get along great off the field. They go hang out, they have a drink, but we don't make a big deal about it. But as I was thinking about this Putin thing, like I jumped on the boat with everybody. I was like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is the beginning of the end," and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I was just sitting here and I was thinking, why? Like, I'm sure when you talk to your friends from Ukraine, I mean, do any of them ever say like, "Oh my God, you're in America. Look out, girl." You know?
Of course not, but you know what? Actually,
watch out!
right now,
They coming.
a lot of Russian people who live in Russia, especially in more like remote areas, they feel this way about America because of the propaganda.
Right,
And
because
this is so crazy and not intelligent at all. You know, people are so close-minded. But it's been a little bit this way lately here.
we have to get over it. You know what? Because here's what happens in our country. I've only ever seen, and this is true, I've only ever seen Ukrainian people, Russian people, Slavic people, in one of two things. They are either James Bond's girlfriend or they're trying to blow up the world. That's it. That's the
Okay.
only time I see him in a movie. You know, as soon as the guy comes on camera and he goes, "Yuri, get for me the blah blah," you go, "Oh snap, these are bad guys."
Russian mafia.
That's it. Yeah, these guys. Oh snap, these are the bad guys. But we got to change that. We got to change that because I mean, first off, bad guys can come in any flavor they want. They don't have to be Russian bad guys. But there's just a lot of distance that doesn't need to be there. Like, you know, you're super cool. I mean, you're super cool. You know, and you're not hard on the eyes, but you're super cool even if you didn't look great. I wouldn't have any problem hanging out with you and your Ukrainian girl. So how do we start everybody getting along better with this stuff? You know what I mean? We want to have a better world. We want to have a better society. We want everybody to get along. And I think the beginning of that is understanding people's differences aren't necessarily bad things, you know? So in your career, you're modeling. Do you have a thing that you see as like the top thing you'd like to achieve? Would you want to be on the, you know, People Woman of the Year one year? Like, what do you see as like your top things that keep you motivated you'd like to go for?
Well, as you know, I just kind of got back to modeling, so just a few months ago I thought that I quit, and I didn't think that I'm gonna do it again. So for now, everything what I have, like modeling wise, it's going well for me, and I appreciate what I have. I appreciate that people want to work with me, good people, good professionals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put right now like super high goals. I just want to take it slowly right now and see where I am and which direction will work the best for me in modeling.
I'm sure you're going to do great, but have you considered other things like maybe acting, or do you want to do music? You want to be a rapper?
Well,
I could totally see you rapping. That's so weird.
Really? Maybe you could do it together.
Yeah, I can see you like coming
I
out
can
with
dance. You can rap. I can dance. What about that?
check 1, 2. I could totally see you rapping.
You could totally
a
rap.
Ukrainian rapper. I could totally see that. You speak different languages, right?
Well, I speak Russian, Ukrainian, and English.
And Russian and Ukrainian are not the same language.
No, not really. They even have some differences in alphabet. So.
Is there a difference in sound? Like, would I be able to hear the difference automatically? And be
I don't
like,
think
oh my
that you
God,
would
this is
be
Russian.
really able to hear the difference, because when I hear people speak in English, I can understand that they're Slavic, So sometimes I would think that they're Russian, but they could be like Bulgarian. So it's difficult to spot the difference until you hear the native language.
Now I want to go back to this rapping we're going to talk about again, but before we talk about the rapping, have you done any acting? You seem like you would be a kick-ass like action movies. I could totally see you.
No,
like,
I didn't do any like movies exactly, and I have accent, and it's just with the.
But the accent's what's cool. Like that's hot.
Yeah, it depends. If I have to play Russian girl, like like Bond girl, Russian Bond girl.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to get you out of playing Bond girls. Now there's a big trend towards superheroes. Maybe you could play like a superhero from a comic book.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. By the way, we have a very limited scope in American movies. We have a very limited scope what any woman can play, much less a woman with an accent and beautiful figure and beautiful, like, we don't really know what to do with that, except she plays like a neurosurgeon at the beginning of the movie, and then by the end she just gets to sleep with the lead guy and get help from that point on. Like, she's falling off the train, she can't run in the heels, she really needs a lot of help. That's how American movies work for women. But so as far as this rapping though, would you ever consider, like, if you had a producer who was like, hey, we got these funky beats, that's what they call them. I'm old, I don't know what they call them, funky beats. We got these dope beats, and you got the look, and all you got to do is like, first things first, I'm the realest. They write everything out for you. You just got to come in and rap. Would you do that? Could you see yourself doing something like that?
Well, I would definitely try. I'm not sure if I would become popular in a good way.
But you never know, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the world we live in now. Like, you could be
anything.
You could be Lana A. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up? This is me, and I'm doing my thing, and it's Lana, and I'm Lana with the banana, and I'm Lana with the kind of, you know what I mean? And a kind of Londa, whatever. You never know. It could work out, right?
Yeah, good.
Do you like rap music?
I like some, yeah.
Yeah? So when you hear rap music, this is what I want to get to, is like some of the things they say about women in rap music, in American rap music, is pretty harsh. Do you ever hear that coming from another country? Do you ever hear that and go, oh man, that is so bad. Why did they do that? Why, what are your thoughts on that? Well,
rap music, like original rap music, usually it has a lot of curse, and it's all very cool, and
you strike me as a girl that maybe curses like maybe twice a year. And nobody even hears it but you don't strike me as someone who curses a lot.
No, I don't curse a lot, but I can curse sometimes if something goes really bad right away, and it just
but like only if you like hit your thumb with a hammer or something. Like, I'm talking about, you don't strike me as a person who sits around and curses.
Oh no, not sits around. Yeah, but if I'm very mad, I could say a couple of words.
So does it bother you to hear that in the music? Like, do you?
No, in the music, actually, no. Sometimes it's actually pretty cool. It's just because when people curse, it's not always sounds bad. Sometimes it just helps express certain emotions or describe things better. And actually, rap music, take it away, and it won't be that interesting. It won't create those emotions in you,
Yeah, I think it would be awkward to have a non-curse rap music.
Like an intelligent, high intelligent rap music.
Now, speaking of intelligence, you seem very smart, very intelligent. Do you consider yourself a highly intelligent person? Do you read a lot?
I read sometimes. I used to read more. I just don't have too much time on my hands right now for reading. Well, I consider myself a pretty intelligent person. I don't know about top. I'm not like
Yeah.
scientist, definitely.
But there's a stereotype about models aren't
I
that
know.
bright.
Yeah.
So do you ever get that? Have you ever run into people who think that because you're a model, they talk to you like, we're gonna have you stand over here now.
Yeah,
You know?
especially when they hear me speaking my accent, you know, like I can understand English perfectly. I just speak this way.
Right. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I got used to people thinking that you like a little, you know, silly,
Yeah.
a little dumb, just because you look good, and you know it's okay. People whose opinion important to me, they know me. Other people, it's alright. I mean, I don't feel bad about it.
Now, there's also a thing with being a woman in this whole world, right? That people kind of throw you in a category and go, well, you know, she's a woman, she shouldn't get paid as much, she's not as smart as us, blah, 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 which I totally disagree with. My mother had me when she was 18 years old. She got a very cool, serious job and kept that job for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like she is the ultimate role model for me, and whenever I think of a woman, I think of my mom, you know. But from your perspective, what type of advice would you give a young girl that's wanting to go into a career like yours? Because you are going to deal with a lot of men who are going to think you're not so smart, maybe. And just the fact, I mean, you're not just a model, which is talent. It takes talent to be a model, but you're an entrepreneur. You're doing your own business and you're setting your own terms. I mean, you could do this for many, many years. You could build this up to be whatever you want it. There's nothing that says that you can't, right?
That's right, absolutely right.
So what kind of advice would you give a young girl that is watching this today and says, you know what, yeah, I think I want to do that someday?
Well, first of all, you have to make sure that this is something that you really want. You know, you need to have this desire. Second of all, you have to take it seriously as any other job, because people think that, you're a model, you know, full-time
Right.
model. It's not. No, it's full-time job if you're full-time model, because before photo shoots you have a lot of communication. You talk to people always, you know. Basically, you are your own agent if you are not with agency.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start working with people, you always have to be very professional. You have to be on time, you have to be reliable, you have to, you know, look good, you have to work through photo shoot also, like, you know, the best you can, and maybe, you know, watch other professionals working and learn from it. I had a case when I had a photo shoot. I was working with photographer, and another model came by, and she was probably not very experienced, so she looked at us like, I don't know, and then she just decided to leave.
This model?
Yeah, she didn't feel comfortable after seeing my work, my whatever, posing, how I was working, and probably she didn't feel that she could perform on the same level, and she just left. And I'm like, why do you do that? Even if you think that somebody has more experience, you look, you learn, you try to do the same. That's how you get better.
What do you think motivates people not to be successful? Like, you know, we were talking off camera before we started, and I was saying, you know, I was expressing my frustration with like people who want to intern and things like that, and they say they want it, and you give them an opportunity, say, okay, we'll be here tomorrow, and then that's the day they call you, oh, you know, my grandma is sick and her car's broken down and she has the measles, and I'm actually getting the measles, so I won't be able to make it until maybe Thursday. But anyway, why, when it finally matters, do people drop the ball? Why do you think people are so afraid to be successful at something?
They just don't want it. Everybody says that, yes, I want, but if you're too lazy to get up and do what it takes to get what you want. You don't really want it, you know, because you sometimes have to not to fight, but to work for things to be the way you want them to be. And it's not always success every time. You could fail, you could be like, oh, I can do it, but you still, if you really want it, you will still continue doing it.
And you've accomplished a lot of things in your life. I mean, even just to be here, what's kept you motivated throughout all of this? I mean, do you have like a belief, like a faith in God? Is it because of your mother? Is it because, like, what has made you keep going?
I always, as a child, I loved to dream. I had certain pictures in my mind, and when other people would tell me, it's impossible, I was like, no, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. That's what I think, and that's what keep me focused and motivated, that I believe that everything is possible.
Wow. Well, you know what? I can't close the show on a stronger note than that, because that is real talk. It's LANA ALEXANDRA. She's a model. She's probably an actress and a rapper in there somewhere, waiting to happen. Just waiting to happen. She's a burgeoning, blossoming rapper. But right now she's doing her thing as a model. And if people want to catch you online, if they want to follow you, where do they go? Do you have a website or something we can go to?
I don't have a website, I have Instagram, it's LANA_Alexandra, and Facebook, it's Svetlana Miller, my legal name.
Svetlana. Now, let me ask you about that real quick. Is that a popular name in Russian? Svetlana?
Yeah.
Svetlana?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Light.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very pretty name. Well, there you have it. Hey, man, it's the Ace Michael Show. We're learning about names. You didn't know you're going to learn something today, but you do every time you watch. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sharing and liking the show. If you ever want to be on the show, you can call us at 702-540-3498, or you can email us beyondthebuzz@yahoo.com. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you. Thank you.